Barca's blank season and receiving the biggest win in its history in Europe. Time to reflect, look at the portfolio and see what can be done. An aging staff, not well off but with vices, that needs an urgent change, and it may be on all fronts, because the management of the last year is to analyze it. A change of coach difficult to explain, many names of signings, to try to divert attention, but half a squad for sale to be able to face a hiring given that the current cash does not seem to go far, something that remains in evidence by changing bareback a 24-year-old player like Arthur for a 30-year-old like Yannick just to lighten spending on payroll. Avoiding the blank season seemed complicated, but with motivated Messi there are no impossible. After passing the almost obligatory process for Napoli, the next step was one of the best Bayern in recent years, and against the Germans the bet of all or nothing ended, in which the Barcelona season became. He has been playing with fire for a long time, entrusting himself only to the genius Messi, and in Lisbon everything went red. The red of a Bayern that is a serious candidate to take the title after being a roller against Barça. The start of the match was so intense on both sides that a great match was ventured, and so it was, but from Bayern, more football was seen in the first half hour than in the other two full quarter playoffs. Although Barça was the first to warn, forcing Bayern to make an effort to avoid a shot from Luis Suarez that smelled like a goal, it was the Germans who went ahead on the scoreboard. Forced pass from Busquets to De Jong, robbery by Nebraia that opens Barça to the wing, center of this towards Müller, who plays towards Lewandowski, short return of the Poland shot at Müller's pleasure. Great goal in the purest Barca style, but from Bayern. 4 minutes of play and it already looked bad. However, the forces were equalized thanks to an own goal by Alaba to the center of Jordi Alba. The best of Setien's team came just after the draw. He had two great chances for 2-1, but Ner saved the heads up against Suarez, and a poisoned center from Messi crashed into the post. But the Barca options to smell the semi-finals died after 15 minutes. The following minutes were a display of football by the German team that, based on high pressure, speed, strength and definition, scored 3 more goals in the blink of an eye. In the 30th minute the scoreboard reflected the final 1-4 thanks to goals from Barça, another from Müller and Nebraia. With an hour of play ahead, Barca's season ended, and it is to be expected that of Setien on his bench. 1-2 came after a robbery to Sergi Roberto, a pass from Nebraia to Barça, and a goal from the latter with a crossed shot. With hardly time to breathe, the third came thanks to a sensational pass from Goretzka that left Nebraia alone for him to beat Stegen. And with Barca broken on all sides and making waters in defense, came the fourth after a robbery to Smdo that ended up in a center by the other band after a change of game that Müller finished ahead of Linglet. It took half an hour to play, everything was resolved, but Bayern wanted more. Barcelona did not get anything. It was slower, age does not forgive, and it was crying out for rest. Stegen avoided another goal before Skomina sent them to the dressing room, and in the second half, Griezmann came out for Sergi Roberto. Setien recovered the 4-3-3 as a resource, but the German power did not care about the systems. Flick's midfield was a perfect machine, and Müller distributing game in the midpoint was enough and was left over to beat the Barcelona defense over and over again. After 2 good arrivals from the Munich team that Stegen destroyed, Luis Suarez closed the gap after a good cut to Boateng, and Barcelona thought that the fluke could play. But everything came to nothing 6 minutes after a play by Davis on the wing, revealing Smdo and leaving the goal on a plate for Kimmich to make the 5th goal made by both sides, something that says everything about how the game went. Setien took Ansu Fati out for Busquets, and Barcelona ended up playing 4-2-3-1. But that was the least of it for Bayern, who continued to do their thing against a team that asked for the time and leave a game in which they were being very inferior, something they are not used to. To top off the day, Flick brought out Coutinho, a player on loan from Barca and with whom they don't know what to do next season. Another story that is not understood in the Bartomeu club. Bayern had 5 and had not scored Lewandowski, their top scorer. but the Pole was eager and made the 6th when he headed a centre from Coutinho. The Brazilian came out with enthusiasm, and after giving the 6th, he scored the 7th and 8th message for the board of directors Culé. This team is a steamroller, it has won. At the end of the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like, so we can continue to provide more, and thank you for watching.